What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here.
Dad's here, Rick.
And in today's video, we're going to break down the perfect schedule for wholesaling real estate and the exact perfect schedule to get over 10 deals every single month in wholesaling real estate, regardless of how much time you spend in your wholesaling real estate business. You spend 4 hours a week, you want to spend 40 hours a week. We're going to show you exactly the perfect schedule and time you should be spending in each facet and part of wholesaling, if you're part-time, full-time, to get the best use of your time and be as efficient as possible in wholesaling real estate. So guys, if you're ready to go, if you're excited to learn wholesaling real estate, excited to break everything down today, do us a big favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment below your questions, and let's get into everything you need to know about being successful and getting the right schedule out here. Without further ado, let's jack everyone up.
Let's do it.
Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Let's go.
That really gets you jacked there.
It gets me excited. I'm ready to go. So we're going to break down the perfect schedule you need to know about wholesaling real estate today. We're breaking down the perfect schedule for wholesaling. So without further ado, let's kind of get into everything today. So we're just going to break down the perfect wholesaling schedule, what you're supposed to do with your time and how to effectively use that. Remember, guys, in wholesaling real estate, we have two things that we have to properly manage for success. This is our time and our money. If we know how to utilize both things correctly, we can become very successful. Obviously, money, you can have $0 and be successful in wholesaling, but also you can have a ton of money. And if you don't utilize your time correctly, you're actually going to fail in this too. So we're going to show you is a lot of it's the time portion, because you can kind of change it. If you have a bunch of money, do have cold callers cold call for you, not do it yourself. This is very important, but we're going to break down the time aspect, one of the most important ones for wholesaling real estate success. So without further ado, let's kind of break down the four type of
PPT.
PPT, PT, FT, CT. Like there's basically, in my opinion, when I look at a wholesaler, they're either in four categories. There's pretty much not other ones. So these categories are part-time wholesaling, full-time wholesaling, and what I like to call crazy time, right? Well, I think we've both been on crazy time wholesaling before. We don't like to be on crazy time all the time, but crazy time is like when you're going all out.
And let me give you a disclaimer. Every one of you will go through some sort of phases. Some of you guys are watching your first wholesaling video and you're like part-time. Here's the difference between most people. Like we're going to break down the schedule today, but you actually have to take the action. So if you study all the coursework, everything we provide you for free, it doesn't make you like a crazy time. You actually have to put in the action to do this. So we're all taught to study till we get it perfect. And I'm here to tell you, you have to take education and action at the same time. It actually feels awkward. It's kind of like swimming and not knowing how to swim the entire time. The idea is here, if you can use that metaphor, as long as you can keep your head above water, you can keep swimming forward. But the problem is if you stay out of the pool the entire time, you're never going to make it.
It's like running.
Well, running. If you stop running, you just sit down. So,
but here's the problem:
swimming, you drown.
How do you get better at running? Right, you run. It doesn't matter if you want to start running 30. You don't run like 30-mile, 100-mile like ultra marathons.
Yeah,
you start by running half a mile, right? Tomorrow, next week, you maybe do 0.75, then a mile, and then like you slowly but surely. How do you get better at wholesaling? You just do it. How to get better.
The ones that scare me, they go straight to crazy time. And I'm telling you, it's
It's good, but you'll burn out.
But a lot of the crazy time is like overstudying, and
Yeah.
you got to find like a balance. So we'll break down the times. I'm just telling you, like a lot of you are in the part time. You're looking at right now trying to figure it out. The only thing you have to understand is you have to infuse a lot of action with it.
Yeah.
This isn't like a 4-year university. You realistically can do a deal within 30 days and put 10, 20 grand in your pocket without knowing 80% of wholesaling.
I completely agree.
So don't wait 6 months or a year to figure it all out. You might as well get paid while you're learning your skill set. And honestly, it's the biggest problem I see in wholesaling. So keep that in mind as we walk you through the timelines today.
So let's kind of break everything down. So let's start with part time, right?
Part time.
Part
It's
time.
hard to say. Part time.
Part time.
Part.
Yeah. All right. Part time. So basically, how it works is a lot of people out here, they can only put like 5 hours a week into wholesaling. I get it. Maybe you work a full-time job, double shift, right?
Mhm.
You only got 5 hours. Let me kind of break down more or less. If you only have 5 hours, what you can basically do.
I started out with this.
A lot of people start out with this. So let's kind of break this down. So basically how it works is if you only have 5 hours, you can only really dedicate 2 hours for list polling, 2 hours for your marketing, and maybe like an hour for sellers, following up appointments, building cash buyers. Really, that's going to be the best breakdown I could say, right? I mean, you got 5 hours.
Yeah. I mean, remember, when it comes to wholesaling, it's about the quality of work you do. There is no time punching here, man. Like, you only get paid when you profit on a deal. So in the beginning, you are going to fumble somewhat, but I'm telling you, it's not like you guys are comparing it to 40, 50-hour work weeks. The reality is most people only work. How many hours do you think people are actually productive in a 40-hour week?
Probably 20, 25.
I'd say less than that. I've
But,
been there.
That's part time. Now, if I have to create like a schedule for part time, this is really where it'd be. It would be like, I don't know, about 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on a Saturday, maybe drawing for dollars or reverse drawing for dollars. And then 5 to 7 p.m. on like a Monday, cold calling that list or cold calling another type of government list. But maybe like 2 to 3 p.m. on like the next Friday or Saturday, whenever you can. You probably spend that on seller appointments, talking to them, following up, building cash buyers. Only 5 hours isn't a lot. It really goes by fast.
It goes by fast.
Some people, that's like half a day's work for them, right? So really, that'd be the best one if you have 5 hours. It's not much,
and it's somewhat spread out. So listen, in wholesaling, it's a lot of you put out your marketing, people respond to you. You tend to play a little bit of phone tag. So I want you to understand the ebb and flow of it. Remember, the more people you can attempt to talk to, the higher your probability is going to be, especially in the beginning.
I agree 100% here. So that's really what I would say, more or less, like how to become successful. It's just, if you have only the 5 hours, that's going to be your best kind of split. So let's kind of talk about part-time wholesaling, right? Part-time where you have like 10, 20 hours, right? This is where a lot of people starting out, they got a job and they can push it hard and do 10 to 20 hours per week. This is where I think most wholesalers are at. Now, if you're complaining you only have 5 hours, this is like you are all day spent. You for 5 days, you have 1 hour less of sleep. You only have 5 hours, right? But like 10 to 20, most people can do it. Let's kind of break down the split here. 10 hours a week. This is the split. If you're working 20, just double these numbers. I really like a 4-4-2 split. It's kind of an 80-20, 20% on appointments, cash buyers following up, and then 80% like actively on the marketing side. So if you have 10 hours, 4 hours for list polling, 4 hours for cold calling, marketing, reverse drawing for hours, whatever you want. And then basically 2 hours for sellers, cash buyers following up. One quick tip I can basically give to you on this chart here is when you were looking at everything on this chart, you can understand that the skip tracing, like using TruePeopleSearch.com, right? You're doing basically pulling probate lists online. A lot of the stuff you can do at night. So like if you're a night owl, you can do this at 2, 3, 4 a.m. Like nobody cares to a point, right? You're pulling the list. You're doing the True People search. Like it doesn't really matter what you're doing. Now, don't reverse drawing for dollars at 3 a.m., but it doesn't matter. And if you're an early bird, like 6 a.m., you want to start putting sticky notes out, you want to drive for dollars, the sun's up, go for it, right? There's no set time. The only times that are set are talking to sellers and cash buyers. That should be between 9 and 7 p.m. Heck, 8 p.m. if you really want to push it. But really, those are the only times you actually need to be talking to sellers. Everything outside of that, you're going to be fine.
Yeah. So when I used to do this part-time, when I worked for full-time for a corporate company, I would meet with my sellers in the early evening, and honestly, just on my way home from work. It was just, I was at my way. I was a little odd because I was in like an actual suit. So I had to like take off the jacket, take off the tie, or I would change. But I'm here to tell you, it's just kind of, you can adapt the part-time schedule to work around your needs. So if you're providing for your family and go, listen, I want to get out of this, I want to use wholesaling, come up with a plan, 6, 12 months, whatever it is, to replace your income. And then like on your way home, a lot of people are doing the same thing they're getting off of work.
Yeah.
And that's really the best time of talking. And you just got to kind of balance your schedule that way.
I agree. So that's really the split. You know, a lot of people are like, Zach, should I wholesale on a Sunday? Right? Now, Sunday's a weird one, right? If you have to have conversation on Sundays, people don't flip out, right? Maybe someone's going to church on a Saturday morning. There's the only time someone's ever flipped out on me. But really, it's really, when's the best time to cold call? Whenever you can cold call, right?
Yeah, just get
within
it done.
reasonable hours. So you got to stay within the laws. Most TCPA laws is you can't call before 8 a.m. or I think cold call before 9 a.m. or cold call after 8. So really stay within those parameters and you're going to be fine for talking to sellers and cold calling.
Yeah.
And that'll give you the best one. So double it up if you're working 20 hours, right? That's kind of where we'd say for a schedule, you really got to make it for your own on the part-time. I feel like at night or early in the morning, you know, if you got kids, like when the kids aren't screaming or like whatever, I would do the list pulling. A lot of the marketing, cold calling, reverse trying for dollars would be during the daytime, and the sellers and cash buyers are the same exact thing. Now, what is full-time, right? Full-time is going to be 40 hours a week. Do you consider that full-time for wholesaling? I mean,
well, you're going to find as you progress and you get out of the basics of wholesaling, meaning it's providing an income, it's providing for your family, you get in this full-time status. I'm telling you, once you get past like year 2 and even 3, like here's the really cool part about it. You actually work less. Yeah. You actually work less. It's a different type of 40 hours. Most people from year 1, year 2 and 3, you can't get them out of wholesaling. They get so addicted to it. It's so cool. And they want to ramp it up and they run with it. And they find out like later in life, it's everything's a balance. And remember why you got into wholesaling. Most of you got in to get freedom of your time and to get financially free. So you don't have to depend on anybody else. So always keep your goals in mind. I have no problem. People want to make a ton of money, but just do not sacrifice your family or do anything. So as you go into it, I'm in years 20 and honestly, I don't do a 40-hour work week. My skill sets.
You got people doing it.
Correct. Right? So you teach other people to bring them along the journey and you decide what level you want to do that at.
Yeah, exactly. So Lance has a question here. I'm just going to say this. Lance, so FYI, I know I have less experience, Lance, but what I can basically tell you is 4 hours to pull a list is not a lot. So really, you want to pull a probate list, a code violation list, let's say a fire damage property and a code violation, arrest record list. You want to actually cross-reference that data, skip trace on true people search, add drawing for dollars on top of that. 4 hours actually isn't a lot if you really look at it.
Yeah, and Lance, in the beginning, like it took me 10 hours to pull a list. I had no idea what I was doing. And honestly, that's probably my highest, best skill set now is pulling lists. And even remember, if you do not get the list right, everything else you do is going to have problems. Trust me, I've pulled the wrong list. I've pulled the wrong data. And I'm telling you, you're going to spend 2 to 3 times more than what you would normally do in the beginning because you're not used to it. I would spend as much time as I could on list pulling because once you can master this, it will catapult your wholesaling. Because remember, your list is your target prospects. If you're not in the right zone, you waste hundreds of hours. So if you got to spend 5, 7, 8 hours pulling a list, it could potentially save you 100 hours in like dead leads or doing deals with people you should never, ever be dealing. You got to find motivated sellers.
I mean, heck, like for me, I spent like 2 hours. So if I had school at 8 a.m., like for high school, I would go 5 to 7 and do bandit signs like twice a week. That's already 4 hours there, right? Like the time does creep up on you. That's why you want to have a schedule like we're saying today. Cause it might not seem like a lot, but once you actually start pulling all these lists, because here's the thing, you pull the list in 30 minutes, there's basically an unlimited supply of lists. If you really look at it, right?
Mhm.
Government lists, code violations, fire damage properties, arrest, probates. It goes on, pre-foreclosures, IRS liens, credit card debt lien. Like it doesn't stop. And there's almost an unlimited amount of lists you can pull. That
Yeah.
is never your issue. It's like how much money to make.
Yeah.
There's an unlimited amount of money you can make.
So it takes you about 6 months to a year to really master a list, because how do you master a list? Well, you're not going to go to a teacher and get a grade. When you do your marketing and you get deals and you go, wow, we got 3 deals off that list. That's the list. We're going to double down and go for it. That's how you figure it out. So you're going to like fire off in the beginning. And honestly, I used to spend a day on pulling lists. I swear to you on this, because I understand if I have the wrong list, it's like getting the coordinates to a spot on like a fishing lake and the guy sent you to the wrong spot.
Yeah.
I don't care what bait you use, you ain't catching a thing. So guys, the first thing you master in wholesaling is the ability to get in the right pond, get the right list. Then you pick the median to do it, and then you meet with sellers. But remember, guys, if you're not going to the right place, no matter what you do, it's going to be wrong. I've made huge mistakes on lists. You only make the mistake once. We're here to sell you, kind of prevent you from making that mistake. So in the beginning, like think about it. The guy, you ever have a guy, if you have ever bought a bike or like a grill from like these local stores, like Walmart or Home Depot, it looks so great. Remember, it's all assembled.
Yeah.
And you get it. The guy goes, yeah, it's a great price. And you turn around the corner and the guy throws a box in your cart.
It's IKEA.
It's IKEA. And you get home like, oh, the picture looks so pretty. Yeah. And you get home and there's like a bag of like 300 parts. You're like, how long does it take you to put together? I've put in a bike together 4 and 5 hours, like when these kids were little, and it's like, we're missing parts. I'm like, okay, what's the big deal? Now, if you're getting your daughter a bike along with your son, that bike took half the time to do.
Yeah.
And every bike after that, where I've seen the guy at Home Depot putting the grills, the guy would line up like 25 grills, and I got the point that you just pay the guy $50 to put it together. I'll pay it all day long. But what I'm trying to say is once they get experience in doing it, they got the skill set and they become extremely efficient with it. There's no difference in wholesaling. I can teach you how to do all this stuff, but you're going to have to go along the journey and figure it out. Even if I walked you through it, it's still going to take you a ton of time in the beginning.
And the last part here is, of course, it's really important pulling the list, but the other half of the battle is what you do with that list, right? Everyone thinks pulling the list it is one of the most important things, but again, it's what you do with that list. And you can have a list of 100 deals, of 1,000 lists, and 100 of those are deals. If you market it the wrong way, you're going to fail.
Yeah. Or if you get a list, you go, well, I'm going to go big. Somebody told me to go big. I mean, I'm telling you to go big in different ways, but you get a list of 30,000. How are you going to market to all these people if you pay for that data? Like you spent a fortune on it and you're a one-person army. So you got to have like you got to have all the pieces to the puzzle. And I tell people this, you can overmarket anything. I promise you, I've done it all the time. You can outspend it. If you don't have the systems to process the leads, it's going to cost you a ton of money. So you want to balance it out. I love pulling the right list. And I'm telling you guys, don't worry about how much time you spend on pulling lists. In my opinion, you can't spend enough time because that's where you really learn the fundamentals of wholesaling. Okay, these are the type of people, these are the type of problems I'm focusing on. These are the type of houses I want. And then you go, okay, I got the list. Now I got to pick the vehicle to connect with them. And then we teach you how to connect with sellers. It is a process you go through. You can't spend too much time in the beginning in wholesaling. You can't spend too much studying. So if you want to take the next step, practice. How do you practice? Have a conversation with a motivated seller. Go get your spouse, go get your mother, go get your sister, and talk to them. Because the more you talk to people, once again, you're going to be terrible at the beginning. And as you go through repetition, you get more and more confident. So, but you just don't want to study this stuff, guys. You want to actually take steps and move forward.
I agree. You just got to take that action. So let's talk about full-time, right? Basically full-time, more or less. It's going to be 8 hours of polling, skip tracing. At this point, you're very effective at list polling. You might have a VA or two doing the hard stuff for you. You're roughly like, at this point, you should be at least 24 hours in a week of just marketing to a point, text blasting, cold calling, reverse drawing for dollars, like a lot of it. The marketing list pulling are kind of combined on the drawing for dollars and reverse drawing for dollars, which you guys should be doing. So combine those two. And then honestly, I think this is pushing it, but like 8 hours on cash buyers, following up, dealing with motivated sellers, right?
Yeah.
Not insane amount, but like it won't be as crazy as you think.
Sure.
And the list pulling seems light on this. I get it, but I'm assuming if you're full time, you've been making enough money, maybe even 100K, 50K a year, you can start paying for some stuff, right?
Yeah. So guys, keep in mind 40 hours. It's not like a typical work week because remember, you're not commuting to work anymore. So you probably just knocked off, I don't know, 7-8 hours of your week.
Yeah.
You're not putting gas in your car, particularly for this. So honestly, 40 hours, you're going to get back so much time. As I said, do not start off with an office. You do not need it to start out wholesaling. Okay. It is critical. And notice every schedule that we showed you had the same derivative, meaning 80% of your time is focused on some sort of marketing activity. It is imperative that you guys become like marketing masters. It's lists and marketing. So list is part of marketing. It doesn't matter what level you are. As you get more experience and you earn more money, then you can start delegating. But guess what? In that first year, when you figure out marketing, if you wanted to get like someone to handle the marketing for you, you know how to train them. You know exactly what to look for. You can write a plan of action for them from start to finish and confidently. All you're trying to do is duplicate what you do so you can free up to go do other higher priority tasks. But listen, to this day, 20 years, I'm still heavily involved in the marketing because I understand it is the lifeblood of wholesaling. And without it, there's body up moving. So don't forget it. And then every now and then you got a challenge. If you outsource that, you got to go, hey, what'd you do this for? Like, hey, let's work together with it. So don't take your eye off the ball and don't just hand it to someone. If you want to delegate and manage them, that's fine. But you have to understand marketing. You can't just have someone tell you how to do it. I've had people try to tell me to do marketing. I go, you've never wholesale before, have you? That's my first question to them. So statement.
It's crazy, but that's basically the part-time part through it. And then let's see. All right. Next one here is going to be basically a schedule here. So if you're working 40 hours, like this is rough stuff, right? 9 a.m. to basically 12 p.m. You're really going to just be, now this is different than, this is going to be a little different than the part-time, right? So like if you're a full-time wholesaler, right? I would honestly think basically 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Seller work on the CRM. So what I mean by this is you're basically just working the CRM, right? You're doing your follow-ups. You're talking to sellers. You're having conversations. This is kind of the weird time because like it's not a good time for cold calling really that early, right? But people are pretty much up and you can have conversations with sellers. You're not doing appointments, but this is where a lot of your phone work's going to be. This is where I really found out the best as a solo person. I would say 12 to 2 p.m. Really just do your in-person list polling, right? You can drive for dollars, go visit the clerk of the court, whatever you really want, just for that list polling part, like 2 hours really. Basically, the next part is like 2 to 5. That's just cold calling, right? And SMS, what type of marketing outreach you want to do. You can drive for dollars also. That's like basically 8 hours, right? 5 days a week. That's 40 hours. I haven't really seen a better one because like you can do CRM work on the evening, but like that's prime cold calling hours, right? 12 to 2 is a little too early, but people are still up. So you can switch 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. with 12 and 2. You can do like 11 to 2 and then 9 to 11, like whatever one you really want. One bonus I can give to you if you want to work an extra 5 hours a week, this is actually kind of cool. Just eat all your food after 5 and I'm like skip your lunch. And a lot of people don't like this, but like
now we're getting health and fitness.
No, this isn't health and fitness. This is productivity. If you skip your 30-minute to an hour lunch every single day, just eat after you're done working, you don't have to waste that 1 hour because a lot of people take an hour lunch and then they're done at 5 and then they actually really work 7 hours, not 40 hours.
Then they get hangry.
I don't get hangry. I'm just telling you, this is a suggestion. This is just a suggestion. But like you get extra 5 hours in a week. It works really well for me.
Yeah, now, if you skip sleeping, it gets even more efficient.
To a point. Like you don't need more than an hour of sleep. Yeah. But what I can tell you is it's definitely good to have a break. One thing I can tell you is one thing I do during my work week, which it's kind of crazy, but it's true. I break up. So I work 4 hours and then 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I work 4 hours. go work out in between the day, which kind of it throws my mind off of work.
That's your lunch hour.
And it's kind of my lunch hour to a point where it's kind of a break. It's like mentally break, but I'm still doing something. I get my workout for the day. Not a lot of people are working out at like 2 to 3 p.m. It's perfect. And then I get back to working.
Yeah, like one to three. Most gyms are dead. That's one of the other benefits of wholesaling there.
Yeah, it works.
You can
really
do like
well.
your own schedule, but like we're not getting on to like how to like complete productivity hacks. The idea is to get you a schedule, because so many people go, hey, what's your schedule look like? Honestly, you guys would be bored out of your mind if you come and hung out with me, because like there's a flurry of activity and then there's dead time to do this. So I've always learned, so everybody adapts it however they want.
Or you can eat while you're pulling a list. Like I always eat when I'm working too.
It depends though. I'm like, if
Depends
you're
what
filling
you
your
eat.
mouth all the way, it's like people can
Have a
understand
sandwich.
you.
You can work on and why.
But if it's crunchy, you know.
You eat weird food.
I like to do blocks. So I'm a big
2-hour
block guy. So the idea is if you give yourself a deadline, you go, okay, 2 hours, I'm cold calling. That's it. No interruptions. Lock the door. Don't pet the dog. Don't let the dog lick you.
Pet the dog.
Don't let the cat meow to death, because they're all distracted. And just get it. And once you get past that 15 minutes, man, does it go by. And I find if I set blocks and do that, so many of you guys schedule every minute of the day. You guys know people like that. Like that stresses me out. So like take time blocks and leave hours in between. And that will help make up for all the things that come up with life. Like, you know, car breaks down, or, you know, the kids need a ride, or the soccer coach needs to talk to you about, Melissa's attitude, whatever it is. So life comes up and you got to be prepared for it. So if you schedule every minute of the day, they're like, and then you ever gotten so far off course, you're like, man, like I might as well just call it a day. You have got to stick to the basics and get it done. So if you want, you can take the exact schedule me and Zach Ginn I, and you can do time blocks. And I find when I block it out, and if I get ahead, I just get more time for the day. But if you think you can perfectly cold call in like a hour and a half window, it just doesn't work that way, because the minute you're done, then people are calling you back and it winds up being 2 to 3 hours. So if you set it task oriented and put a timeline on it, mentally you feel like you have to finish it.
It's the most important part. And I like the time blocks. I'm kind of a grinder. You're a grinder to a point, but I think we're a little different on the way we are, just to a point. I'm a grind. I will grind through 7 hours of just working, but like I have weird quirks too. Like I like working out. It makes me actually work better. So just
Clears your head.
different. But honestly, for a full time, it's really what's up to you. This is just my little suggestion. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but like you only need, if you're going to take a lunch in between, do a 20-minute lunch, 30-minute meal prep, whatever. But like I'm telling you, just like a lot of people waste an hour just doing something non-productive. And that adds in 5 hours a week. And if you could, like, let's say you drive for dollars 5 hours extra a week, cold call an extra 5 hours a week, even cold call a Zillow for sale by owner, or even do that 5 hours over a month, over a year. What is that? 5 hours for a month is like 20 extra hours of work. And you like, that's 240 hours. That's like an extra month of working, more or less, like by just being more efficient. Yeah. I'm all about efficiency, but like, just see how you're doing it.
You know how you get extremely efficient?
What?
Do you know how much time's wasted on the ridiculous phone calls we take like all day?
I've been telling everyone.
So number one, I've learned some of the hacks. Like some people just say, listen, just change your phone number and only give it to the important people in your life. Not a bad move if you want to make an extreme change.
I'm talking about old ladies on the phone with you for like 30 minutes. Like if it's not a deal, get off the phone.
But number two is like when your friends call you and like, ask yourself, is this going to make me more productive if I answer the call? I'm not telling you to ignore your kids or your spouse or anything like that, but sometimes you're okay letting that call go, because it's so many of these conversations are mindless. And you have to stop yourself. I only have 2 hours. If I take 20 minutes to talk to Joe, I'm not going to accomplish what I need to get done. If you take 2 or 3 of those calls during the day, you're going to lose an hour. And that's how we talk about lunch. Lunch, we always say, oh, we'll just take a 30-minute break. It always bleeds over. And then you get like a little bit tired. Remember, you guys are working a solo entrepreneur business. I don't need you taking like a nap after you get a lunch, because now we've lost a half hour. Now we've lost the nap. It's like you've got to be disciplined. So find out what your musts are, spell them out, and do the most important part of your wholesaling and block it off and go, this is non-negotiable, especially when it comes to cold calling and getting your marketing out and talking to sellers. And my last little hack, Saturday is I always use as like a catch-up day. So if I'm behind on something or I'm pursuing a seller that's like ghosting me, that's when I go like my detective mode. I go, I'm going to go find this guy. I get in the car and I kind of do like some detective work. I talk to the neighbors and sooner or later I flush somebody out. But that's the one I don't feel like I'm on the clock and I can get those last hanging tasks that get done. I like to take Sunday off and just kind of recharge the day, but completely up to you. Saturday, I leave as an optional. You're much more productive in the morning till around 2:00. And then
that's you. There's no football on. So it's like, I can just work all Saturday. I don't
what's
even care
football?
anymore.
I haven't seen it in so long.
But so guys, that's what. So let's kind of break down the next part here. Crazy time. This is like when you're going all out. Like sometimes you can do this for like 1 week out of a month, or I used to do this.
Some people do this on a regular basis.
I do this for years. I was doing like 70, 80 hours a week for years, and it's good. But at this point, if you're making so much money working 100 hours a week, y'all need a VA. Okay, I put that in there. Y'all need a VA. LOL.
You need help.
If you're working 100 hours a week and you're making hundreds of thousands,
it's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem, but you need a VA. So one thing I can tell you, combined, I might work. Okay, so I used to work like 5 hours a week in the business. I'm working like 10 hours now just because of the JV deals and stuff. And the JV links are going to be back up Monday. Freewholesaling.com. You can still submit right now for the freewholesaling.com people. But I can tell you is we're redoing it because we're doing so many JV deals that we're trying to ramp it up even more. I'm working like 10 hours extra, 5 hours extra just because I like it. But really, like you're at 5 hours a week.
So we're slowly bringing in people to help us like manage it and get response. And
I'm talking about per week though.
Yeah, per week.
5 hours.
Well, like sometimes I just have a week like I feel like going all in, like I do every day, and it's just, I will tell you in the beginning, I'm so glad I didn't keep a record how many hours I worked. Yeah. But like I was so excited, I was so eager, I was making progress, and that momentum builds. And the idea is you go from part-time all the way to crazy time.
It's crazy. So one thing I just want to let you guys know, I'm gonna get in trouble saying this, but I'm working 10 hours a week. You're working 5 hours a week, right? When your favorite guru is bragging about working 80 hours a week, just FYI, it's not 80 hours in wholesaling. It's 78 hours in coaching and 2 hours into wholesaling. So I see a lot of influencers bragging about how they're working 80, 90, 100 hours a week. I'm just letting you know, they're not working 100 hours a week in wholesaling. You might see your favorite guru say that, and you're like, okay, I need to work 100 hours a week. They might spend 70 hours a week on a TV show, 20 hours on
they're on a plane, going to a speaking event.
I'm seeing these TV shows. We've already said this. We've been offered from huge networks TV shows, and we've said no each time because they said, we got to control your YouTubes, your lives. You have to come for us for permission of what to say. We say no. So you hear people bragging about TV shows working 100 hours a week, guys. It's
unless they're going to do a show on wholesaling, we'll do it. We are not house flippers. Okay. Anybody can sit there and buy a house. I bought it for this. I'm going to tell you what I fixed it up for. And I'm going to tell you I made a huge profit. There's no way to verify any of this information. That's why it makes a great show. And the reality is people think it's really cool to take an old beater house and make it look brand new. And, it's neat, but I'm telling you on the investor side, you don't want to be on that equation. And especially in today's market, you want to get destroyed, do that. I'm telling you guys, every wholesaler goes through this process. You start a wholesaling and go, oh, why don't I keep a couple? We'll fix and flip.
The person tell me on the network, they're like, I don't know if you can be on a show because you just don't have a design person. I'm like, what are you talking about, design person? We're trying to make the most money on I don't need a design. You need a full-time designer for the TV show. I'm like, so guys, just FYI, when someone brags about working 100 hours a week in wholesaling, I'm just letting you know, don't think that you have to work 100 hours. At most, you should work like 70 or 80 if you're pushing it, but you actually getting a VA in there, and that should push you back to 10, 15, 20 hours a week. I just want to let everybody, I'm not saying this go after gurus, which I do love going after gurus. When they brag about doing 70, 80 hours a week, it's because they're coaching 70, 80 hours a week. Don't feel like you have to do the same thing. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
No, once you got your operation set up, I'm here to tell you that. So I don't know. It just drives me nuts. The whole thing is why most people get in the wholesaling, and the core of it, is so you can get control of your life. You get your time and you get your finances in order. And once you get that, you decide how much you want to work. But who the heck, like, honestly, unless you're in the beginning stage, you're super excited. I went through this for about a 3 to 5 year period.
Yeah.
After a while, you're like, you know what? My time to me is more precious than the money, and I'm going to find balance. And as you get older, like me, you find that you only have so much time in life. You want to make it count as much as possible. So to me, it's not a bragging order like how many hours a week you work. Listen, we're all different. We all learn at a different pace. And I was the type of guy in school, I had to crack that book and study it like forever. This guy never even cracked the book, and he just figured it out in like one shot on a test. We're all different. So this is just a guideline. But here's the deal is once I learn a task, it's done.
Yeah.
Okay. But I take longer to learn it. But I've learned if I really like a task like wholesaling, if you gave me freewholesaling.com 20 years ago, I would have watched it 50 times over.
Yeah.
I would have studied everything. And every time I had a problem, I would deep dive and I would rewind it 1,000 times. Then I'd get on the live and go, hey, Zach, what's this? Hey, Rick, what's that? And that's what I want you guys to understand. Some people get it the first shot. Some they got to ask the question 5 or 6 times in different types of ways.
Yeah. And one thing I can tell you guys, like, I'm going to give you a big tip here, like during your schedule. Let's say you got to go. All right. Let's say it's 9 o'clock at night. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., I got to go meet a seller at a house. And I'm a little bit nervous. This might be my second or third deal. What I could tell you is the best tip I give to you, rewatch at freewholesaling.com how we give our offers. Just listen to me and Rick give offers on mock conversations in the course and on the YouTube channel. Listen to 4 different videos of us teaching how to actually condition sellers. And when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be thinking of those 4 different times you've said it. And it's going to make you more confident. That's one other big tip I give to you. Before you cold call, 30 minutes, just listen. If you're pulling lists, I can tell you right now, the biggest times I've clicked onto something is when I rewatched the video 3 or 4 times. So if you're like skip tracing or pulling a list, this is a quick plug. I get it. But like listen to one of our videos, like an older video about doing something important that you're trying to do. Like we have a great pre-foreclosure breakdown on freewholesaling.com. And you're pulling a pre-foreclosure list and it might take you an hour or 2 hours. Just listen to that video in the background, put another tab while you're pulling the list. And it's better than listening to music, but like you're hearing me talk about the pre-foreclosure process. And if you listen to a couple times, you're going to understand it. And that's just one thing I can tell you is just rewatch. Now, of course, rewatching a video is good for us, but if you just rewatch, I'm telling you, it's going to be fine. Like you watch a pre-foreclosure video and then I don't do another one for like 2 months, you might forget about it. So I definitely recommend just repetition. It's going to help you so much. If you hear me and him, because we're crazy people, talk about how to condition the seller like 100 times in a row, you're going to get it down pat how to do it right. So that's one thing I could tell you. So you're hearing us talk about a topic. You might have to listen to us talk about it like 5 times in a row before it clicks for you. Not a problem. But once it clicks, it should be there for you. It's just FYI, like I listen to a lot of stuff in the background when I work and stuff. It's educational and it helps me out a lot. When I was starting off with a lot of stuff, that's what I did. So 40 to 100 hours a week. Let's talk about crazy time, right? More or less, if you're going crazy time, full-time crazy.
It means you're crazy.
70 hours a week, like you're pushing it hard, right? You should be at least 12 hours list pulling, skip tracing, consider getting a VA. 44 hours should be in the marketing. Really, this is insane, but like 12 hours talking to sellers and cash buyers and following up. I don't see many people. There's some people on the stream that are doing this.
Yeah.
But really, that's pushing it. And if you're going crazy like this hard, I do recommend you dedicate at minimum 2 hours to networking with other wholesalers in your area and just around the country. It is worth it. That is my recommendation for it. Crazy time is insane. But the point of crazy time is to put so much cash in your business that hiring a VA just doesn't cost too much. And it makes it's just worth it, right?
And then you're going to go learn new tasks on how to scale up with a team. So this dream where people are telling you, I can get you started in wholesaling. You don't have to talk to anyone. I'm going to teach you how to do a team, how to do all the code. Guys, I've yet to see anybody successful in wholesaling that didn't start the journey themselves. Some people figure it out in 6 months. Some people take a couple years. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like there is no like set timeline. Now, as I said, I was a very challenging learner in traditional schools. I was a good C, probably C minus, like a 2.3. That was back then. That was pride right there. And I just wasn't interested in what, like, anytime I asked a question, teachers like, I go, what do we need to know algebra for? Sit down, Mr. Ginn. Like, you're a problem. And they constantly called my
Still a
parents.
problem.
And honestly, I thought there was something wrong with me. And this is before they diagnosed everyone with ADHD, which, by the way, I'm the poster child for. Fast forward to today, everybody, I thought I was insane when I took this journey. I left a good corporate job. Dude, I had it. And I tell you, it's shifted so much more since I've left. To me, it's a no-brainer. Guys, the way they're teaching this stuff, don't get me wrong. I have a college degree. He has one.
Yeah.
In wholesaling, I know it's going to sound, it's irrelevant. Other than if you learn, like, accounting was good, and I learned how to look at financial spreadsheets. I won't take that away, but honestly, I could go figure that out on my own.
Investments and stuff outside of wholesaling, but
so I learned differently. I will tell you, he's a much quicker learner than I am.
I'm not a quicker learner. I have basically a photographic memory, so I don't learn quicker. It gets absorbed faster. But I mean, that's pretty much it. But let's kind of answer some questions we got here. Let me just show the schedule one last time for everybody. So let's go here. So part-time, really, this would be our recommendation for it. I know I got asked here for
everybody winds up in this one in one phase or the other. Sometimes people skip the part-time, and most of you are going to skip the crazy time. So we're just talking about like the meat and potatoes of time scheduling.
Yeah, exactly. So just that is the schedule there.
Did I tell you once a long time ago when I was in the corporate world?
This is the full-time one. Yeah, say it again.
I sat down with a corporate consultant, and they used to give you, back in the day, they give you a binder, like a planner.
Yeah.
And you would have to spell everything out for a whole week. And I'm just like, I go, you know what? This is exhausting. I'm like, how I spent more time on that planner than actually doing productive activities.
Yeah.
Typical corporate world. So
that is the full-time one there. And then crazy time. That's basically it. So that is the schedule. Let me answer some questions. We're getting the one-on-ones. I get asked all the time, Zach, how do I join the one-on-ones? Just go to Wholesaling Houses for Real in the Facebook group. Other plug, we do have the podcast back up. So if you're driving around doing some drawing for dollars, you want to work out, and you want to listen to us in the back, what I could tell you is it's going to work very, very well. So what I can tell you is just go to Wholesaling Houses for Real. The Facebook group will help you out there. Go on, join, just search Bags to Riches Podcast. So Bags to Riches Podcast on Apple and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review. And basically these lives and other bonus stuff is going to be on there. So you can listen to it while you're working out, background, anything like that.
I do YouTube though. Like I kind of.
Oh no, YouTube's the best one.
Yeah, you just got, like, honestly, it's gotten so easy to stream information.
But the point of the podcast, like, you're on airplane, you can download the podcast, the audio format.
I get it.
I get it. Some people want it, so whatever. You're in a crazy time when you're dreaming about deals. Shout out to Corey. We're gonna work on a podcast tomorrow, so that'd be kind of fun. It won't be live or anything. We're just gonna record it. He started out part-time, so
you could have nightmares about deals too.
You have nightmares about deals, trust me. So Lance says here, how can I go from 3 to 10 deals a month? I'm not making enough calls. I only do 100 a day on a single line dialer, but a good custom PropStream high equity list. I would 100 high equity occupied list is not enough. That is like, I'm going to say this respectfully, like, that's not a lot.
You'll get deals off of it, but
you'll get 100. That's very, like, unfortunately, we have to go through thousands of high equity to get one deal.
Yeah.
Now this is our market. We're making 40, 50, 60K on a deal, but like government lists, they're going to be important. Lance says, I work out more than I cold call. That is not good. You need to be cold calling way more than you work out. I've been telling everyone about this. I don't have his picture popped up, but Dorian Yates, he is, I think he was Mr. Olympia, biggest bodybuilder in the world. Of course he took steroids, not good, but like still jack guy. He's on record saying when he was training, he only worked out 45 minutes a day for like 5 days a week. That's all he did. Now he was crazy during that time.
probably pretty intense.
It was pretty intense. But like, if the people that watch this, I had one guy said, I'm a bodybuilder. I have to work out 3 hours a day. I can't wholesale. I'm like, 45 minutes. Make it intense, but you can get your workout in really quick.
And guys, think about this, okay?
Yeah.
I've worked out my entire life. He loves working out. Like, you get it. It's not a requirement, but it, keeps you healthy. And it just feels right. Well, how many times you walk in the gym, everyone's like staring in the mirror, everyone's like all buff. Like, if we could translate that and look at everyone's bank account, like, I'm here to tell you, get your financial affairs in order and minimize some of your workout time until you get some balance. Because you could be like ripped and muscular, but like if you're broke, like, I'm telling you, having financial freedom will allow you to do whatever working out. I agree, working out should not be dependent on your financial situation. But if you are like incredibly strong and gifted and ripped, and you are broke, you need to look at the amount of time you're putting into weightlifting and shift it towards marketing activities, wholesaling, if you want to go that route. I'm just telling you, it's much more respectful to have a lot of money and be fit. There's nothing worse than being fit and completely broke, or you can be, we see the extreme, right? We see people that have financial bliss, but they're terribly out of shape.
Yeah. Can I break this down?
Go ahead, break it down, man.
Professional troll. So I want to break this down. So you don't know what you're talking about. He didn't take steroids. So let me, and I should be sued for slander. So let me just tell you, I'm a man of my word. When I tell you guys something, I do it. So I just popped this up. Dorian Yates, this is his personal Facebook. He posted this. When I was training for Mr. Olympia, I did 45 minutes. Let's see if I can mute the audio. He says I was doing 45 minutes to 60-minute workouts 4 times a week. That is it. Look at this guy. Okay? Look at this dude. Look at this guy. 45 minutes. That's it. Okay, he posted that himself. Okay, just FYI for everyone thinking that I'm crazy. And let's see if he was taking steroids. So I got told here he didn't take steroids. Google search here. This is a quote from Dorian Yates. He says, Dorian Yates has admitted to use steroids for 12 years, from 1985 until from 1997. Just FYI, like when I say things, I mean it. Now,
extremely wrong.
So where
Sam
does he take?
Says,
so Sam says I'm broke. Okay, okay. So first of all, let me just tell you right now. Sam says this is a poor source. At the end of the day, I can't fight the guy, but Dorian Yates on Valuetainment talks about steroids and growing on growth hormone. There's the video for you, Sam. Poor source. He literally said it. FYI, he literally said that. So just FYI, saying you can get jacked by working 45 minutes.
Wait.
So I just wanted to talk to Sam before I kicked him.
Sam said we're broke too.
You know what?
Yeah, Sam, you're right. I'm so
let
broke.
me show my bank account. Oops.
Yeah. Oops.
Like guys, if
Sam, like I'm broke, dude. You are so right.
FYI, if I
want to be in Sam's shoes.
Yeah. So,
I want to be a hater and just like find anything wrong with anyone. You're right, Sam. You are 100% correct.
You know actually, you know what? The IRS is watching.
I know.
We are broke. We have no money. We are poor. We will not be paying taxes.
I agree. I've been doing this business 20 years, but I'm broke. Like,
guys, I don't really care what y'all got to say, but I mean, out of thousands of nice people, we always got one hater. But FYI,
see, the minute you go in the bodybuilding, this is the crap we get.
But
you bring out the haters.
But FYI,
he's probably ticked because he's probably in the gym and he's broke. And I made that comment, so I apologize, Sam, if you're hurt. Sorry, buddy.
But yeah,
truth hurts.
Just FYI. But we'll break this down. So yeah, cool stuff. So FYI, guys, actually, I'll give a quick shout out on the bodybuilding thing that I'm done for my bodybuilding people. Dude. The most popular bodybuilder lives in Stuart, Florida. You know that?
No, I'm unaware of that.
Kind of cool.
That could have been an
I've met him a couple times.
Off-camera conversation.
Chris Bumstead lives in Stuart.
Big cool. Guy.
Huge. Dude's massive. He's in downtown all the time.
Give him a steroid
Really nice guy. Really nice guy.
Give him a roids test.
He's a nice dude, though. All right. So one last thing I got to say from this is I want a confirmation. Is testing on here, Jamie? Is testing Jamie? Give me a nod. Jamie, are you testing? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk to I want to talk to Jamie real quick.
Jamie's on the spot.
Jamie's in trouble. Jamie's in trouble right now.
He's at the gym. Well. He's going to put the gym behind him on the green screen.
So Jamie, you said that my MLS listing advice was not great. What do you mean? Explain this, man. I want to know what's up with that.
Well, remember how I said that the other house was going for 135 and it was relatively a good deal? Well, it's the same house and the same place, so that one was going for 90, and I offered 70, like you said, and they got a bit offended. It did lower the price. That's a good thing, obviously, but
They lowered the price.
yeah.
Well, that's the
So
goal.
how's my advice bad?
I didn't say it was bad. I didn't say that.
You said it was not great, but it gave you a better price than you were before.
And that's the whole goal of using that technique. Listen, when I offer a ridiculous price, if they take it, I'm actually nervous.
The point of lowballing is to go for the no, because if you go for 70 and you get it at 80 versus just going cold at 90, you'd make 10,000 extra. I'm not telling you to lock it up for 70, but the point of my advice on at minimum offering off the bat 75 off the listing price is you're going to get the best price possible from the realtor. So just FYI, my advice it works. I'm just telling you, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you got him on the line.
Yeah, I got him on the line. How can I help you out?
I mean, right now I have trouble because apparently the secretary told me you need to be 55 and older to buy and own, and not just that, but even to go and fix it. Like, contractor needs to be over 55 or something. She said that the general manager wasn't coming back until Monday, so I need to wait until Monday, and then that deal's probably going to be gone by then, because it's a really great deal.
Am I missing something? Is it a 55 and older community or something?
Yeah, it's a senior.
Okay, so listen, dude.
In Florida, you can still
I'm the
buy them.
master in Florida on this stuff,
This is in
dude.
Florida, I know.
Well, I want a JV with you guys.
Okay, well, do you understand that I'm speaking predominantly from Florida, so give me a break if I'm not a lawyer. Most 55 and older communities, they can't restrict it solely on age.
Yeah.
They have to leave in Florida, it's a 10 to 12% buffer. They have to allow a certain amount of people, community in there that are not at that median age. Because I've bought it, like I have taken on the challenge. Same thing. They're like, you can't do this and you can't do that. It's like, get the facts. I'm telling you, every state has a mandate. It's somewhat discriminatory to say only 55 and older can live there. Now, you don't want to take on the whole challenge of the board, because what they do is they put more and more restrictions on you. You just got to find out what the actual law is. And then usually you go to the management company. They hate this question. Okay, guys, if you're buying a 55 or older community, and by the way, I've made a ton of money on these deals because every other investor goes, I can't touch it. I'm 22. I can't touch it. I'm like, dude, either pair up with someone, or usually there's a property management, and go, listen, is there an age restriction? They're going to say yes. And go, listen, what percentage of the owners are 55 and older? And they're going to go, ooh, they're going to have to get back to you on that answer, because they don't want to give it to you. Because by law, there has to be a variable in there. Because think about this. Some people inherit properties like, okay, I can't own the property because I'm not 55, I'm 53. Are you kidding me? It happens all the time. Like, life happens, and it's ridiculous. You said another thing. You said the general contractor can't even get in there, like, unless he's 55.
Like I said, it was the secretary, so she probably doesn't know that much.
I know.
Oh, it's the secretary for the realtor?
Yeah. For the whole place. Like,
yeah, you're gonna have to deal with someone higher up.
Yeah. So sometimes you can get into the bylaws and all the addendums and the declarations, and a lot of that will be spelled out to you, and it's based on the laws within that state. But there's a lot of tricks to it. Like, it's a little bit more advanced strategies. I bought them in trust. I've done like some other things, but at the end of the day, even if you get in, you have to make like friends with the people. So remember, most of the people just want a confrontation and want to scare you away. I recently, you can attest to this. We bought a condo in a place. You ready for this? The secretary told me corporations are not allowed to own properties in here. I go, well, hold on a second. Pulled up my computer. I go, there's 8 bank-owned properties in this place. She goes, yeah, but they're banks. I go, what is a bank? She goes, a corporation. I go, it sounds like you guys have kind of broke the rules yourself.
Yeah.
And I had to go. I didn't even pay a lawyer. I had my lawyer just say, "Listen, can you just give us a letter of decline so we can pursue this case?" 2 weeks later, they accepted me. I made $30,000 on the deal. I'm just telling you. Remember, how do you beat resistance with persistence? But I want you guys to know, when you do these 55 and older communities, the biggest obstacle they try to hit you with is you got to get approved in front of a board.
Yeah.
I used to horrify me and tell me that. I'm like, okay, let's just go. And then I sit in front of the board and they attack me. And I said, listen, I'm here to make the property better and make everyone's values better. And I'm in line. I want to help you out. By the time I walk out of every one of those board meetings, I have a buyer in hand. He goes, oh, my niece, this would be perfect for her. Hey, can we pick the air conditioning and the flooring out? Now, the first 5 minutes, they wanted to eat me alive. And I'm just telling you, you can run people over with statutes and laws, but at the end, when there's a board and a 55 and older, you have to be the voice of reason with everybody. So it's common. Almost every property I buy in a 55 older. By the way, I bought Century Village properties. I bought in retirement homes.
Yeah.
Well in my 30s. I'm just like, you got to understand. Sometimes they put massive restrictions on the property, and those are the ones you have to avoid. An example is when you buy the property, you can't exchange the deed for 1 year or rent it in the first year. You can't touch those properties. There's nothing you can do for it. So understand the rules you're up against and just read the rules. So you hear a lot of times when people are like, oh, so-and-so didn't pay his taxes. No, that's just the headline. That person did what they did to get tax credits to stimulate their economy with payroll tax and everything else. They followed the rules. They read the rules to how the tax code works. Okay. If you don't read the rules, you can't take advantage of it. There are some that just, you got to avoid like the plague. Any type of resale restriction, like you can't make them work. So in Florida, a lot of them are going to 2-year resale restrictions. I won't touch them. 90-day, I'll still do it, but I know I got to fund it.
There's some restriction on buying 2 properties in less than 3 months if you haven't something. I kind of forgot.
I get it, because they don't want investors or corporations going and buying them up when the market's low. In 2010, that happened everywhere. Do you know, in like Florida, the market was so bad, I could buy all the condos I want for 15 grand. These same condos are selling for $400,000 and $500,000 now. Even me, I go 15 grand. My God, I can rent it out for $300 and make cash flow. But they changed a lot of rules because companies came in with millions and they were buying and they were taking over the HOA. That's why they put it in there. So guys, what I'm saying is, if it's 55 and older, don't freak out. Get a copy of the bylaws and the rules, and then go to the property management and ask high quality questions, because you'll be surprised. They have to help you out with this stuff.
Oh yeah.
So in the old days, I used to go, I go, hey mom, can we put your name on the contract, that type of deal. But I don't really advise doing it. You might as well be just transparent up front.
I agree.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
55 and older. I'm telling you guys, I've had some of my most profitable deals in those, because I'm going to hit at the end of the day, there's standing room only demand for these properties. People love them. I don't even qualify yet, thank God, but it's coming around. So maybe that'll be my pitch. You guys JV. I mean, I'll take over all 55 and older properties. That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Some benefits.
Well, I mean, if you guys want to JV, obviously I'm more than willing. I know you guys have.
But Jimmy, you know what I told you? We got to underwrite it. If we don't think we can sell it, or if it's a good deal, we'll let you know. But we're not going to do a deal. We're not going to actively put a joint venture on a deal we don't think that we can actually do.
Yeah. Well,
we don't want to waste your time.
We tell you up front, like, we don't like, hey, I know you invested $10,000 into the coaching group. Let me take a look at it, make you feel better. Hey, Jamie, it doesn't work out. You got to get a price reduction. It doesn't work. So.
Well, I'm gonna send you a link to both deals, and maybe you guys can tell me if it works. Because I did try, and I told Zach yesterday, the emails keep bouncing, and I tried with another email, and I don't know. Maybe they're going to
get a Gmail. Get a Gmail.
I have 2. I had 3 actually.
Well, I don't know, because I got like 100 emails yesterday and a bunch of other from everyone else. So
I'm gonna send it again with both links.
Listen, you got to
just DM me, bro.
If you got a good deal, I promise you.
I just submit it. It's at freewholesaling.com. The link, it says JV with me on the top right.
Just click the link.
Click it.
It's automatic.
Submit the deal.
But you got to follow the directions on it because we get a lot of
Yeah.
deals submitted. I'm not charging you to submit them or anything like that, and you're actually getting intel from us. But guys, here's the reality: like
Gary
you
does.
want a JV, you got to find motivated sellers, and it's got to make financial sense. If it doesn't, because remember, I got to pay you, and we would like to make a return on it. It's a win-win. Nobody else offers this. Actually, if somebody offers it, put it in the comments because I'm telling you, every one of them have a hook to a paid coaching court.
Well, some of them don't.
Course.
But, the problem is, they're not trusted people.
Well, yeah.
They could get
Send
screwed
me
out
the
of the deal.
deal, and
The worst is when you JV with somebody and then they close it,
and then
they're
they
like,
go
"Why did
MIA.
why didn't I go pay? Why didn't I get paid?" And you never heard from them again. So there's people that don't charge it, but a lot of them are going to steal your deal.
like checks in the mail.
No,
Dude,
it's worse.
The checks in the
Oh,
mail.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
it's not going to you. It's
Just
going to my
I've
account.
seen it too much. Just FY, because you're asking for people to post their JV links, and then people are going to go with someone, and they're going to lose the deal, and they're going to blame it on us. FYI, if this company does it, a lot of times you're going to get the deal screwed out of you. So just be careful. I have a lot more to lose if I screw somebody out of a JV deal.
No, it's not worth it.
So just FYI. So guys, let me know if you need help with the JVing or not. But yeah, what other questions you got, Jamie?
I just sent you through direct message a link just in case, and I also sent you the email.
Well, I don't JV.
Yes,
Like
I
it's a team. It's not me. FYI. Like I'm not
Okay.
going to underwrite it myself. It's going to be the team.
We
mean,
work.
Like, I'm not going to spend someone's going to spend 10 hours trying to find a cash buyer for you. It won't be me. I mean, that's my whole week of work. I'm not going to do that for one deal, but I have a team person that'll do it and VAs and all that. I have a whole systems for it.
But we look at everything.
So that's why you should submit it, not DM me the deal. But I might have a VA actually go through my DMs. We'll see.
it's a lot.
All right.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. Appreciate it.
Okay,
man.
bud.
Thanks.
Oh,
Boom.
awesome. Yeah. FYI, guys, we're not the ones like to JV a deal properly. You're going to have to put probably 5 to 10 hours a week of just work on that one deal.
It's a lot of work.
I'm not going to go put 150 hours a week on JVing with you guys to make 100K in a week. It's good, but like it's not, and then we got to split it. I have a whole team for it. That's the point. Next person we got TJ.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
I'm blessed.
Awesome.
How can we help you out?
Yes, sir. So I got this one virtual deal in Ohio, and the seller is at 60 right now, but I'm not sure if it's working or not. So I kind of want a second opinion on it. If I could send you the address somewhere.
Sure. Just FYI, if you send me the address and I look at it, everyone's gonna know the address. So you can private message me it. Like, you want me to underwrite it for you?
No, I just need to know if it works or not because he's ready to go at 60 and
Who, the
I
cash
think-
buyer?
Huh?
The seller's going to go at 60?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, walk us through the math on it.
Well,
Like,
what's the
Okay.
ARV?
Okay,
What's
so
the ARV?
So here's the thing. I can't find too many comps, but I think it's around 80 to 85. But
85.
that's
What's
the
the
thing.
repairs?
He says the repair. So it's a duplex, and one of the units is fully renovated, and the other part needs like 4K of repairs. He said it's like electrical and plumbing works. Then
So
we
how much is the repairs, you think?
I really don't know. He said it's $4,000 worth of repairs,
So,
but if
I'm going
it's
to put 5,000. So 80 minus 5,000 is 80 grand. We're going to multiply that by 70% because that's freewholesaling.com. So 70% of ARV minus repairs is $56,000. That is your MAO.
so you're very close.
Yeah.
What can screw this transaction up if the repairs are like 15 grand?
And they're most like, I just FYI. if it's
And
plumbing,
most
it's
landlords,
likely.
honestly, when they're doing that type of deal, they're usually way undercutting the number to induce you to do it. Now, you can write it under contract. Have you looked at the property yet? It's virtual,
No.
right?
Yeah, it's virtual.
So my advice would put it under some contract. I would try. I mean, obviously you've already negotiated. You got them down to 60, but you got to let them know that you're going to be a little suspect of the repairs, and your property's your contract's contingent on verifying that the repairs are $4,000. You know why? Because when it comes back 10, you can go, dude, I got it in writing. I'm like, right here, it's 10. You said it was 4. That's a $6,000 difference. Hence giving you the $10,000 discount on it. So when people marry the repairs, especially on a virtual deal, you can't get them. You think you hit his bottom at 60, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I do. I go, listen, Mr. Seller, I'll put it under contract under the assumption there's only $4,000 in repair. If there's more than $4,000 in repair, we have to have a conversation. Yeah, he'll go, yeah, great. So then you put it on the addendum, subject to verifying repairs of maximum $4,000. You can get a local contractor for free to go over there and easily write the repairs. Don't let him pick it out. You pick it out. You can get 2 or 3 bids. Dude, I tell you, it's hard to get anything done on a property for $4,000 anymore, period. So the only thing I'd ask a little bit more details, what does it need? So if it involves any type of electrical, plumbing, or anything like that, roof or foundation repair, the $4,000 is going to be blown out of the water. So I would try that technique, and then you can put it under contract. Ask for an inspection period. The longer, the better, and just tell them I got to get my contract out there to take a look at it, and kind of go from there. That's what I would do. And like, I don't think you're going to get him down to 55 if you've already like pushed him to his final number. So to leave that room, and remember, you're in a strange market, but it's a low price property. There's a lot of cash buyers for that type of property.
Yeah. I mean, I think I can get him down to 55 because he sounded a little bit iffy about it. He was ready to go at 60, but I think I might get him down.
Try that, but understanding you're still going to, I can't tell you how many sellers that disappoint me. I get in there, it's like 50 grand a rehab. I'm like, dude, we're not even close. So just make sure you have that inspection period in there. And then do you have somebody in Ohio who can go out and take a look at the property for you? Have you set any of that up yet?
No, I don't. Okay.
So it's a very nominal task. Someone to go out and take pictures for you, or you can get a contractor out there to kind of give you a bid for it. And that's the risk in virtual, like, because you don't know what the repairs are. So on paper, it works. The question is, this is the caveat on virtual, is you got to have someone to put like foot on the ground, because you rather look at it before you send your buyers in there, because your buyers will tell you right away. Now, some people put on a contract and just send their buyers in there to do the dirty work. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's going to open you up to surprises. And then it's hard to go back and readjust stuff. And then remember, I think you got one tenant in that duplex, right?
Yeah.
What's the tenant paying, if you don't mind me asking? Do you know?
$550 a month.
$550. And has he told you, if you do this, the going rate should be $700, or does he tell you like how long the rents have been at that $550 number?
He didn't.
Okay. So you want to do your research and see what the going trend is in
that one unit. Yeah.
Yeah. To see if that's the correct market rate for the rent, because that rent will give you a formula. And if you're getting, because here's what cash buyers are going to do. They're going to calculate their return on investment. So say they paid you, say you got 80 grand for it. Okay. They're going to do a math equation. They go, okay, well, each side gets 550 and they pay you this. What's my return less taxes and insurance? You can easily calculate it yourself.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it's going to be probably the best underwriter when you sell it to a cash buyer.
But you got to remember, the buyer pays for basically the title, right? They pay for everything.
They pay for everything.
Really, you just got to go to freewholesaling.com and break down the calculation. Really, even at the MAO calculation, the repair cost is still up in the air until you actually put eyes on the property.
Yeah.
I think you're in the right spot. You just got to have someone kind of verify what's going on with it. How you decide to do that's completely up to you. And in the beginning, it's a little dicey because you got to find someone to do it. Once you find someone consistent that is reliable to do it, then it gets a heck of a lot easier. So figure out, how far away are you from Ohio?
I'm in California.
Okay, well that's a long way. So even if you had to pay someone $50 to go by, take some pictures, $75, however you want to do it. Yeah, you got a good problem. Like I just do not wait long. I would move sooner than later.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a good problem to have, TJ.
Yeah, I know.
You're doubting yourself, and this is common. So one of the two ways you look at a few comps, it's a duplex. Most of the buyers are going to be landlords that buy it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Landlords look at one thing. Do I want to buy in that area? And am I getting a return on my investment? So look at this. If you were going to pay 75 or 80 grand for that property and you had cash sitting around and you got, what is it? You got 1,100 a month minus off like $100 for maybe tax insurance. So maybe you got like a $12,000 return. All you got to do is if your net was 12,000, you just divide that by the purchase price. Say it was at 80,000.
Yeah.
That gives someone a 15% return. TJ, where can you get a 15% return right now?
Real estate.
Real estate.
Like, it's a good number, dude. And I'm telling you, most buyers, anything double digit plus of a quality multifamily, they're all in. So I wouldn't lose sleep on, yes, a duplex is comparable to a single family house, but remember the persons buy it, they're most predominantly buying it for cash flows. And so they can depreciate and offset their tax basis. So take your range of comps and then do that calculation, figure out what the tax and insurance is on it now. So you already know it should get 1,100 a month. And then you can just calculate everything. You can even put the repairs in there. You're still going to have you're going to be able to market a double-digit return property in a really bad economy right now, which most people would be very happy to park their money in there, wait it out 2 years, and then he sells it. He sells it for 100 grand, made his cash flow. It's a win-win for everybody. You get your assignment. I think you're right on spot with it. You got to just stop second guessing yourself.
I agree.
Yeah.
You got it. You got it, TJ. You got the confidence. Just take it all the way, get the best discount you can and get some time in there and just start working the cash buyers after you have it under contract.
No, definitely. Well, I appreciate you guys.
It's an easy one, TJ. You made it easy for us. You did the work. Yeah. Congratulations. Just finish it out, okay?
Beautiful.
I think you got a great deal.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Let us know how it works out.
Awesome. What is up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up? How can I help you out today?
So, I have an appointment tomorrow with a seller, and I'd asked them, are all the decision makers going to be there? And they notified me that the person, I guess, lives like a few hours away, but they said that they are the one that will be deciding who they choose to go with. And they also said that they want to hear from 2 other realtors as well, because they want to see how much the property is worth. How do you think I should go about that?
There's a couple ways to do it. First of all, when a realtor says whatever it's worth,
look at all the lenses on his phone.
It's
impressive.
It's impressive.
Oh
my god!
One's got like 1, 2. I don't know how to work the other one.
What I can tell you here is when a realtor gives what they think the house is worth, I always say, "Oh, so they offered you that much for the house?" Act stupid. They're like, "No, they didn't say. They didn't offer me 150,000." Well, why would you take them serious if they never offered it, right? I could say a house is worth $1 million. It's what someone's willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
A realtor is always going to add 10, 15, 20% on top of the actual what they really think it's going to sell for, because they have to entice somebody, right? That's one thing you just got to understand. So whenever they deal with a realtor, they're always going to overbid what they think is going to be worth. And I just be careful. If they say they're not going to make a decision because they have to wait on what a realtor is going to say, I probably want to go in the appointment.
So let me ask you this: is there what's going on with the house? Is it poor condition? Is it vacant? What's going on with it?
Well, just speaking to them, I haven't got a chance to actually see it just because they caught COVID, it canceled a few appointments, and then
got it.
So finally they reached out to me the day before yesterday and said, "Can you come Friday?" But just from speaking with them, it looks like it's like a medium rehab, so like about 25,000 in repairs. The ARV was the ARV is like 149. So times 0.83, it came to like 123, and then I'm thinking like minus 25. So 98 is the max allowable offer. So I'm thinking about offering about 88. But I'm not sure if they're going to be willing to go that route. I responded. So even when I texted them, I said, I'm not a realtor, I'm just a cash buyer. Then she said, I'd rather deal with a cash buyer. But before I responded to that, I was gonna say, I'd rather deal with you as well. But my goal at the end of the day is to help you, just to help you guys sell that house, whether I buy it or not. If you're looking for
Are
the
you
most,
texting this?
no, I haven't sent it yet. I haven't sent it yet.
No, he just wrote it down
Okay,
so he can
good.
prepare
All right,
for
just
it.
making sure.
Yeah.
So she's like, at the end of the day, my goal is to just help you guys sell it, whether it's me buying it or not. If you guys need to deal with a realtor, I do have a few connections I could connect you with. So should I just go ahead and tell them that?
So I'll give you two things that I deal with this all the time. And I haven't been on an appointment in a while. I do different types of appointments, but whenever there's a realtor in there, they're 100% going to put you in a bad light no matter what happens. Like you cannot win. So have the conversation with the seller, like, do you want to list it or do you want to sell it? You told me you need some repairs. Is your realtor prepared to go out and find cash buyers? And I always say, listen, do you want to list it or sell it? Like, if you want to list it, I'm not a licensed realtor, but if you want to pay all the fees and go through that, then just give it to them. Like, don't even make it a challenge, because you're never, the confrontation's brutal. I've sat there with 3 realtors. You will never win. Like, they are going to go, it's worth 180. You're giving it away. And so occasionally I go, listen, so you guys have cash buyers for this because it needs repairs. Oh, I can go out and get cash buyers. I'm like, well, this is what I've already done and I have it done. And I'm just here to tell you, find out. So listen, always go back to the root of why they called you. I want a hassle-free sale that's cash without a lot of contingencies and inspections, and get down to the brass root of the number. With a realtor, dude, a lot of times when you have a property that has challenges, you will actually net the seller more than they're ever going to get with a realtor. And say, listen, if you want that solid peace of mind, what you're going to get, then we can talk with it. Okay. Sometimes you let them meet with a realtor, just meet after the fact. Go, listen, I can get you listed it forever you want to. That's not a problem. If you want to get it sold, that's what I promise. I go, but either way, if you meet with me, I will help you solve your problem either way. Just here's the deal. Like I used to do do not bash the realtor, because it's not going to work out. And a lot of times the realtors overlist the property and the seller gets impatient. Now, here's a dirty little secret. I don't really use this anymore, but man, has it worked really well. If I'm put on the spot and I'm challenged by a realtor, I say, I tell you what, how much did you say it's worth? Perfect. You said it's worth $189,000 and you're confident in that? Yeah. So here's the deal. I would list it with her under the contingency. She gets it sold in 30 days. The realtor will turn white and freak out because it's an impossibility.
Yeah.
What the realtor wants to do is list it and get the listing and take it for 6 or 12 months. And then after they get you out of the way, then they're going to have what they call the coming to Jesus meeting. Meaning when they put it on the market and they go, listen, the market's got a little bit softer. We're going to have to lower the price. So if I have to give up a listing to a realtor is completely BSing on them, I go, I tell you what, I go for it, list the 189, but I wouldn't do more than a 30-day listing, because if she's so confident she can get it done in 30 days, it shouldn't be a problem at all. And watch what honestly, the seller goes, that's a great idea. And then the realtor goes, oh my God, I'm like a dead man. And guess who gets to come in after 30 days? You do. But I've only done that when I've been put on the spot. But if you have to talk to the realtor after the fact and they're bad mouthing you, it's a great technique, because in this market, you overprice stuff, it is going to sit. And that's what realtors, for the last 4 years, they could overprice everything and they get at that price or above. So always take the high road when it gets down to it. But I would focus on, I thought you wanted to get it sold. If you want to talk about listing, I could send realtors your way and give you really high prices. But if you want to walk away with a solid number and you know it's done, that's what I do. Is that something you want to talk about, or do you just want me to get you a list of realtors and just go with that? You don't want to meet with people that aren't motivated. You got better things to do with your time. Not every seller is motivated. You guys have figured that out now. You got to find the ones. Now, this person might circle back around to you. The more repairs a house needs, the less qualified most realtors are to deal with it, because they're not used to dealing with cash buyers unless that's what they specialize in.
Yeah.
So sometimes when sellers are like, well, I'm trying to figure out how much the house is worth, is it good to send them to or show them the HCAD? Because on the HCAD, the appraisal said it was like 133.
No.
Yeah, but keep in mind, what
in Texas.
Okay, what's the cost?
State.
Yeah, so what's the cost of selling a house? If you say, listen, seller, do you know the cost of selling a house retail? Do you know what that number is on average?
Mm-mm.
It's 15% minimum.
Okay.
Okay. So whatever the number they tell you, even if they come up 133, take off 15% right off the bat. That's the best they're going to net. The best in a perfect world. And you know that's probably not going to happen, because when you have to get a cash buyer, you got to take even a deeper discount, and you kind of go from there. The problem with the whole realtor thing is that realtors are meant for nice, pretty houses, because the reality, you know why we use realtors? Like, I'm probably going to get in trouble saying this, is most sellers can't handle the negotiations of real estate. I deal with it all, like, and the higher end property, the worse it gets. The lower end, a little bit less. They can't handle the emotional part of selling a house.
Yeah.
Like when you sell a car, it's like you sell a car, that's it. If the guy wants to paint it purple, you have to be okay with it. I've watched people go, if you do this with the house, I'm not going to sell it to you. I'm like, and realtors are there to walk people through, navigate through something they don't do often, and save themselves from their own lack of understanding on real estate. Now, when you bring a real estate agent in a cash deal that has no cash buyers, don't know how to deal with this, and then they try to do traditional inspections and all this other stuff, that's where you go, listen, I'm not going to drag you through the inspection process. I'm going to let you close on the date of your choice, and it'll be cash at the end of the day, so you know exactly where you lie. And if they don't go for it, you just kind of move on. A lot of times they appreciate the frankness and honesty. I have a good portion of my clients that like, I've been through this realtor game so many times, I don't even want to play it anymore. So your worst arsenal is say, listen, that's fine. Have her list it for that confident price and just do a 30-day listing. If she's so confident, it should be no problem. And honestly, if the seller sells it for that amount, God bless them.
Yeah.
But, just be upfront and honest with them. I think it's the best. I think you have the right approach, but I'm giving you like tools. You do not want to be in a room full of realtors. You might as well just walk out, because they're going to tell you everything you do is illegal, a scam. They're going to make you look so bad
every day. And
then you're going to like not fight back, and you kind of look stupid for a little bit. And it's just a very uncomfortable feeling. And it's like, that's what people do when they don't understand it. They just belittle it, and they're like, "Oh, you're full of crap. It's right. A scam." And it's like, no, you're actually the best solution. Now, maybe the property does need a realtor. I don't know.
So, but you definitely recommend that I call and have this conversation over the phone?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And think back. Why did she originally call you? What did she tell you her problem was?
Looking back, so originally I had found this property through like her grandchild. She ended up connecting me with her. I guess they're not sure if it's a husband, or somebody had passed away, so they're just living there. But the son it's in the son's name, but the son's name is the one that like lives hours away. But her biggest motivation is that she has a lot of grandkids there, and I guess the area is becoming a little dangerous, so she's really just trying to get away from there.
Okay, so you got to go back and kind of resell her go back to the original reason you call me, and just go through your notes. Go, listen, you wanted a hassle-free sale. You wanted to know exactly what you're getting, and you didn't want to go through like all the inspections and everything. And I can do that for you. Now, I'll be honest with you. If they're solely out for price alone, you won't win. And it's okay. You don't want to be the winner of that, because that'll put you out of business quickly. So just go back to when everyone struggles or they change. I always go back. Why did you call me? And then I try to drive it home. You wanted a hassle-free sale with no inspections. And like, not all like, am I going to get approved? Are we going to be able to finance it? Interest rates are up. Underwriting's really tight. The higher they push that price, the more challenges you got to get. So here's how real estate works. The higher you get in price, the challenges get incrementally higher, like every $5,000 you go. Okay. So if the house has issues and you look at it, like it's a no-brainer. If the house is perfectly clean, but I'm here to tell you, I've had people sell me perfect houses. They go, I just don't want to deal with a realtor. I've had really bad experiences. Sure. I'm like, oh, thank you. Finally. But I've had it the other way. I've had a great experience with a realtor. At the end of the day, either you want to sell it to me or you want to list it. They're two different games. And keep in mind, the average cost to sell a property is 15%. That's without negotiations on average.
True.
So if she got offered 115, 20 grand for the house, and you take off that 15%, it's not going to be far off on your offer, buddy.
Right.
So find out what she wants, try to fulfill it. And if you can't, you've got enough tools in your chest. And if not, just go find another motivated seller.
Yeah,
You got it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys, you can't
Yeah.
be scared of realtors. They're always going to come up. You just got to know how to go for them. The worst thing you can do is attack a realtor. It never goes well.
No.
Oh, so the big bad wholesaler, and you use the word wholesaler around a realtor. Oh my, like you might as well be a felon at that point. They're like, oh my God, I think that's illegal. You can't do that. She's stealing the property from you. I'm like, well, what are you doing? And if you get in that argument, you're going to look really bad.
Yeah.
So you're selling the property with no skin in the game, and you're going to collect a $15,000 commission. And I'm the crook. Yeah. So don't get in that argument. You won't win.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much. That's my only question.
Okay.
All right,
Let us
appreciate
know
it.
how it works out. You got it.
For sure.
Awesome.
The realtor challenges.
The realtors.
Well, like I've learned, dude, I used to attack realtors. It doesn't get you far. And it's like, they're set in their mindset and they're not going to. Now, full caveat, there's a lot of realtors that enjoy working with wholesalers, but you have to work to find them.
Yeah.
If you have a traditional realtor that only does nice, pretty houses, do not try to shove wholesaling down their mouth. They don't understand. If you want to connect with that person, talk to them about when you get challenging houses and you're not sure how to sell them, call me. I'll buy them for cash. I'll pay you your full commission. And if you're really good to me, I'll just have you relist it and sell it for max profit. That's all they want to hear from you. Do not go on a wholesaling spin. They don't understand it. And their brokers all tell them it's a scam. It's illegal.
Exactly.
It's not.
I agree. All right. So next one we got King Lemmy.
You get me fired up on realtors, man.
Yeah.
Like it's like, ugh. I love realtors.
Hello. Oh, you're muted.
He's muted.
Who is this?
I'm Lemuel. Nice to meet you guys. First time on the live.
All right, man.
Awesome, man. Nice meeting you.
Hey, what's up, guys? I just have a question. I'm on my market is Indianapolis.
Oh, that's a good market.
It's a great one.
And I'm going for probate. I know it's one of the toughest ones. I'm kind of, like, I don't want to say I'm scared, but
why do you think it's the toughest ones?
I mean, because that's what you guys always say, don't you guys? You guys
Well,
always,
probates are the toughest ones out of other government lists.
right?
So he's right.
To get the information.
It's hard to get the information.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But once you get the
But
information,
Indianapolis isn't too hard, man.
No, okay, good. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. So I've been pulling them by myself because, that's what Zach's been saying, and the dad, of course. I got it from the clerk.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm doing it the right way. I'm building my list, but I'm not.
What way you're doing it? Let me know.
What happened?
Break it down. How are you doing it?
Okay, so I'm doing it virtually, of course. I'm in Chicago. So I went to the county I'm in is called Marion, I believe. I think that's the only county I want to start off with. I don't want to go too big. And I'm in my case, Indiana.gov. That's where I can pull it. So unfortunately, they don't have a list to give. I have to pull them by myself. And then they gave me the case number. They gave me I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I'm pulling them, right? I have them. But the thing is, the thing I'm struggling with is I'm getting like really, really old numbers. I'm searching them up on True People Search, of course. And I'm not sure if I'm in the right path. I'm kind of getting a little confused. It's getting kind of stressful, but I'm hanging in there, and I don't know what to do,
So is the issue with you? So you're getting the property address and you're getting the decedent and the representative and the area information, right? You're getting all that, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm getting all of that.
So your issues with the skip tracing, right?
Yeah,
Pretty
just trying to
much, yeah.
contact them.
So there's two ways to skip trace. Three, actually four technically.
Maybe
Either
5.
for free, no, it's 4. If it's free, it's truepeoplesearch.com, fast people search. It's the free websites, right? Like they're 65% effective. Second, you pay for the list, right? Obviously, you pay for like batch, PropStream, whatever. That costs a little more, better data, but costs money. That's a problem. Number 3, you can text them, cold email them. There's emails on truepeoplesearch.com. And the last one, you just leave like an email. The last one is, you do a Facebook message them cold.
But
those are the only way.
A lot of them are older too, but
Yeah,
it just
if it's
depends.
virtual.
Yeah.
But no, the heirs. The person that older passed away, right?
Yeah.
It'd be the heirs. So really, those are the 4 ways to get in contact with a seller. Now, if your issues is
There's
you don't
5.
think the data is good, you get what you pay for to a point. Like it's free, so it's not going to be 100%. So you got to make that decision for yourself. You're not local, so you can't do the sticky note thing.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah. So either you got no budget, you're stuck at truepeoplesearch.com or the Facebook or emailing them. That's
Or
I have no other way around it.
you can just stick a letter in the mail. It's going to cost you 60, 70 cents. The good thing about probates, you're not getting thousands of them. So it like won't break the bank type of deal, but it is a slow process. Don't get me wrong, but I can't tell you how much money I've made off of a single letter on a probate just because someone 3 months later, they called me back. Or listen, we want to talk to you about the property. So I get it. Like probates have challenge, but there's a huge upside to them. So are you doing any other type of marketing other than probates?
No, I was actually I was doing virtually driving for dollars.
Okay.
But I stopped doing it because I wanted just to focus on one thing. I wasn't sure if there was multi.
You're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Trust me, you're doing the right thing, man.
Okay, good. I think you feel a lot better for sure.
Yeah, you just got to practice, dude. And I mean, you're doing the right thing, man. I would True People search it. I would try to do some emailing. Really, that's all you can do. Why are you thinking TruePeopleSearch.com's having a problem? Are you leaving voicemails and texts?
Well, I just finished cold calling because I see you went live.
Yeah.
I was actually cold calling what I pulled, and to be honest with you, I was doing FBO, for sale by owner. There was one guy that was that posted it for sale by owner, and I called him, and he was interested on selling his house for $75,000. I called him, but I don't think he's motivated. He exactly wants $75,000. And I think I comped a little bit. The houses around the area weren't going for 75. There's some houses that sold for like 50, 45. And I just noticed he wasn't motivated, And then, oh, sorry about that. And then after that I called my list that I was pulling. I called his sister, and she was on my list. And she sent me to him. So I'm like, I think I'm doing this right, I think I'm on the right path. But then after that, I started struggling a little bit, but I guess
getting in front of the sellers. Like what's the one thing we can pinpoint to help?
I mean, the targeting. Who am I supposed to target? I mean, the relatives, right?
Yeah. So this is a big problem people have in probates. I want to try to help.
Okay.
So let's say John Smith dies. There's Sarah Smith, Tim Smith, and Tiffany Smith. The 3 kids. They're all heirs to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany Smith is the personal representative.
Mm-hmm.
She's in charge of the estate. And then the other Smiths are just heirs to the house. A lot of problem people have is they try to call all 3. We've learned just calling the personal representatives the best one.
It's torture
because
there's a reason that person's appointed.
Yeah.
They're the responsible person in the family.
Yeah.
We used to target all the heirs to try to get like the phone number to the PR. And dude, the amount of drama you go through, it's exhausting. They're like, so it's, it got to the point where if there was like 4 more errors, like I even cut that marketing out for a while. I've switched since then, but like you just like test date out. You got to just get to the responsible party because I've had 4 or 5 errors and they've all called me back and then I can't get the PR. The PR just does, they already have a plan and the other people, they want their money like as fast as possible.
Right.
And you're just wasting a ton of time. So in my experience, only deal with the person that's in charge because they're the ones dialing out the money and following the will. And there's a reason the others, maybe they're just younger or something like that. But everybody has somebody that's responsible in the family.
Yeah. All you got to do, like really call. And if they don't answer, leave a text and a voicemail. And that's really all you can do. The one thing you got to understand is even if you have accurate skip tracing, like 90% plus, there's still an amount of them that aren't going to just answer the phone.
Even on the paid ones.
So that's why when you see me do my cold calling, I make it very, very open-ended. So they want to call back. Like, hey, this is Zach. Please give me a call back. It's like, who's Zach?
Yeah.
What does he want? And then you're going to get that call back. If you say, this is Zach with Zach Home Solutions, you're not going to get a call back. Yeah. So if you use that strategy, you get in front of them. So it might not be you're not having the right numbers. It's just they're not, answering it. A text and a voicemail, very hard someone doesn't reach out back, right?
Yeah, but it's not uncommon on the probates to find them on
Yeah.
social media. It's kind of hard. Like occasionally if the person's younger, but how long you been doing this for?
Well, I've been knowing about wholesaling for like, I guess a year, but I haven't really taken any action. I think this is the most action I've done.
Okay.
So I guess you can say I'm a newbie for sure.
Okay. So like, what are you really good at in life naturally outside of whole?
I mean, what do you mean by that question?
Like what is it like? Are you good at sports? Is there like something you like to do? Skateboarding? What is it?
I'm really athletic. I love talking to people. Honestly, I think
Okay.
I can make friends. You know, I like conversating with people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
He's got a smile when he talks to people.
Yeah, you got it. So listen, like
He's got
so if you listen to the beginning of our live stream, I said the biggest problem people have in wholesaling is they study because that's how you were born. I mean, that's how you were raised in schooling. It's just a product of how we learn. The reality of business is you have to take the education and you got to go test it out.
Yeah.
And you're going to get some good data and you're going to get some bad data. And that's how you learn going through. What you have to do is get your action muscle as strong as your education muscle. And it's hard, dude. It's like going to the gym. Think about it. Like you lift that weight the first time you press it. You're like, that was terrible. My body was shaking. My heart's racing. And then for 3 days later, you're like, you feel like your chest is going to fall off of you. Why would I go back and do that again? You got to look at the end result, right?
Yeah, for
Why
sure.
do people work out? Most people do it to remain healthy. A few people, they're all about vanity, whatever. So the idea,
just kidding.
no, I'm just trying. Hey, listen, I'm fighting, man. I like to eat. So I got to offset it somewhere. Is you got to like, I go to work out not because of the pain or like the failure or like, dude, I'm old, man. I get stuff that hurts. Like I wake up and sometimes I hurt, but I do it because I know the end result. I'm healthier. I feel better. I can get through the day faster. You on wholesaling is your why is so how old are you?
I'm 23 years old.
Okay. So you're very young. So you have to make up with your lack of experience and enthusiasm. So when you talk to people, when you get them, you got to go out of your way and just impress upon them. Like I'm a guy you want to do business with. I'm fun. I like you, and I'm going to pay attention to you. So one of the tricks of the trade I teach all people, not even young people, is whenever you have a seller on the phone, like dial their name in, find out what they want. It's like some people want to be like Mr. Smith, or it's like Rob, you know. Find out what name they want to be called and just use it till you churn blue. People love it. I know when I talk to anybody in customer service, if they use my name and they use it over and over, they're listening to everything I say. So just like little tips, but you're building an action muscle. It feels awkward now. Just keep going and go in more. That's all I can tell you. You need tons of opportunities to make up for your deficiencies, but you're going to make up with your deficiencies with your enthusiasm because you've got a 10-year head start on me when doing this. That's how far ahead of you are of the game. And you got to look at it like that. Okay.
Talk to sellers, man.
I didn't figure this out till I was 33, dude. I did everything wrong up to that. I'm just like, okay.
Well, that's good to
Not
know.
wrong, but
really
like
appreciate you guys.
Yeah. So just like you're a young man, you've looked like you want to get better with it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Your action is what's going to dictate your results in the long run here.
Yeah, I promise you. You just consistently do some marketing and you talk to me once a week. It's almost impossible not to get better.
Yeah.
I promise you that. Okay.
All right. So, thank you guys.
You've been doing this for a year, and this is the first time you've hopped on the one-on-one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why,
I mean,
man?
I don't know.
Talk to you.
I mean, you're gonna talk to me from now on. That's for sure.
Okay.
Here's the only problem. I'm gonna put your butt to work though, man. You know, there's gonna be zero excuses why you're not getting any deals. Because if you listen to me long enough, it's impossible not to get a deal.
Yeah, you can't get them out of your head.
Yeah, you can't get me out of the head. Talk to Corey. These people, right? So, hey, we're not here to tell you to do a million things in one. It's just a little bit more every day. It's the get better 1% every single day. I promise you. Yeah. It's insane the results you're going to get.
And guys, stop comparing yourself to everybody else on the internet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just got to get better every day. Just like you did a sporting event. How do you get better? You practice and you take action and you educate yourself. It's no different. It's not a sport. To me, it's a sport, but just have fun with it, man. Like so many people overlook, like have fun with you. So when you talk to people, have fun. And if like they're very yes, no, like I'll send them shocking statements like, did I say something that upset you? Or like, just, unless they open up to you and like you build a rapport, you will never get a deal with people. So like if the conversation's not going, throw a Hail Mary. You've got nothing to lose. Me and Zach give you permission to it, because if you sit there and do a monologue conversation, it goes nowhere. So shock them up a little bit.
Okay. I really do appreciate you guys. I do have one last question.
Okay.
Rick, you mentioned to send out letters to, would that be to the relative? Of course, right?
You
Watch it at freewholesaling.com.
Yeah.
Right.
The video's in there. You're going to send it to PRs.
To the PR, but it's simple. Your letter's pre-printed. You just sign the bottom, and you might spend $20 or $30 a month, but you'd be surprised how many of those people will call you back. It's not a ton, but listen, dude, you only need one deal to really change your life.
Yeah.
You're 23. You got all the time in the world. So just the key with probates, everybody on this, you have to be extremely consistent. If you try it,
And patient.
you will fail, because that's how most people do it.
Okay. Thank you guys. I really do appreciate
One deal. Okay, man.
Appreciate
See
it.
ya.
it. Thank you guys. Peace.
Thank
Thank you.
Awesome. Brett says he wears diapers to save time.
I love that.
I love it. Love your videos. Got a lot of amazing advice. Awesome, Amanda. Love to see it. France says, thank you, Rick and Zach. First deal closing by end of Monday, I think. Use your contracts, process 30-day challenge. Let's get it.
Bingo.
Congratulations. Awesome. One last thing. I want to talk to Tyler for a second. Tyler, is this realtor's last name starts with a W? I need to know right now, because I will call them right now during this live. I will call them right now. You read this? Read it.
Yeah.
If that realtor's last name starts with a W, I will be having a
Listen,
conversation.
I know every realtor.
I know every real
St. Lucie.
Tyler,
Yeah,
you need to let me know right now.
I know another Tyler Johnson too, but I don't think that's him.
W. I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah. So guys, let me tell you this.
I'm not going to put that.
Okay.
I will be having a conversation right now. Hold up.
So wait a minute. So Area has told me to avoid wholesalers, but it depends. It depends on what you want to accomplish. So if like you want to buy a nice, pretty house and stuff like that, probably working with a wholesaler is not going
Tyler,
to work with it.
Your realtor has watched us make a ton of money in wholesaling for the past.
Yeah.
I personally know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And by the way,
Oh my gosh.
so you know, they've listed a ton of properties in my market.
Okay, don't be mean.
Well, I'm not going to be mean, but I've bought the deals. Like they don't even like, listen, it's easy to call anything a scam if you don't understand it. So by the way, they list nice, pretty properties. And when they sit on the property 6 months, guess who buys them when they expire? So I'm
going to send this to her.
Zach, is it really worth it? Like I have to deal with this.
I just telling everyone scam artists.
But honestly,
ridiculous.
Honestly, that is the consensus of all realtors. If they don't understand it, it's a scam. If they understand it, because here's the reality. They look at wholesalers as taking business away from them. And it's ridiculous. So there are properties that are not meant to be listed on MLS. If you found an investor, AKA a wholesaler, that could take it all the way home. The key is you have to pay the realtors for the lead. And that's where a lot of wholesalers make a mistake. I'm like, I'm not going to pay the realtor. I'm like,
I'm going to say this though. And I'm going to say this really nicely.
Yeah.
Really nicely. The reason why some realtors say that is because we made more money in that deal last week, the $115,000 one we posted Monday, than realtors make in their entire year.
Yeah.
One deal.
So
and how much? $115,000 deal. How much real estate do you have to sell for $115,000? You have to sell $3.8 million. Okay. For the one deal, we make more in one deal than realtors do in their entire year. Okay. So just FYI to these realtors, they're little peanut butter and jelly. That's all I can tell you.
That's the problem. So like trying to convince her to go, hey, you need to join they look at it as competition because they look at this like, well, I was going to get a $30,000 commission off selling that deal. Yeah, but it didn't sell. And then if we come in and buy it and they don't get paid, they're like, oh, I got screwed by because they ask the seller what happened to it. They go, this wholesaler bought
Tyler,
it, he paid cash.
One last thing. Tyler, just say that Zach and Rick Ginn disagree with them. I promise honestly, you, there would be a surprise. I'm just telling you, tell her that Zach and Rick Ginn disagree.
Yeah, and tell her I've been doing it 20 years.
Well, she already knows that. So as FYI, I'm not going to say anything else.
But like, to be honest with you, like she's a really good person, wonderful
Great
family.
person.
But I tried long time ago to show her the promised land, and that's it. So
I think that was funny. But yeah, Tyler, give me a holler if you ever see
why
me
are
on
we
the
getting
street.
these realtor stuff? Get off the realtor. No more realtor questions.
But every time a realtor says wholesaling's a scam,
it's
all I can say is I don't hear broke. But that's all I got to say.
it's a scam. That's like I should have a shirt. It's a scam.
It's a scam.
It's a scam. Like that's the most defensive position you can take on anything. It's either a scam or it's a conspiracy theory, right?
Yeah, I don't
It's a
hear
conspiracy. It's a conspiracy.
I don't hear broke. All right. So
Okay,
let's
go.
talk
Let's
to
keep moving.
Victor.
Can
Hello.
we hear him?
Yep.
What's
Yeah.
up, Victor?
How are you?
Good. I'm a little quiet because I'm actually in the probate office.
I love it.
Oh man,
I like
this is
it.
live. I
Live
love
from the trenches.
Can you
Yep.
talk?
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can. Just really, that's why I'm talking a little low right now. But yeah,
That's
thanks
okay.
for all you guys do. Pretty awesome. So yeah, just a quick question. I just want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing. But so is the administrator the same as the executor?
What state are you in?
California.
So you got to change all the rules for California as usual. Is it constantly come up administrator? It doesn't say like PA or anything like attorney next to it.
No. So it'll either say executor, administrator, or PR, but they're
Yeah.
all interchanged, right? Is it all the same thing?
Well, one thing I wanted you to do is when you look at it, because we don't know, search up the names on some of the executors or some of these terms. And if they're coming up as attorneys, you're going to know which one's an attorney and which one's the heir. Right?
Yeah. So
Last name also works.
So personal representative, executor are 95% of how all probates are spelled out on it. So you start getting into administrator and stuff, it can mean attorney. Listen, I'm not an attorney, and you guys, 50 states, 3,600 counties. It's a train wreck out there on how they classify the stuff. You got to find out how they classify the information and sort it out. And then once you know the classifications, then you know how to attack the probate. So I'm not an expert on California probates. My suggestion, if it's confusing to you, either try to get some help from somebody in the probate court. Usually there's a clerk, somebody to help you out, or find a title company in your state that's familiar, that's closed a few probates, and they will tell you that exact answer. And none of that's going to cost you any money.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So then I'm looking at it right now, and it usually like on the case, on the portion of the case, it says, or the party, it says the name of the petitioner and then the decedent or dissident. So,
Yeah.
and it does say that well, yeah, I'm kind of confused.
So here's what I need to do. Like, honestly, I appreciate you calling me while you're from there. Take your time and get that information and gather that, and you know exactly how to get a hold of us. But like what you have to do is just sort the information out. And once you understand where everything belongs, then that will lead you in the right direction.
The easiest way, because I've done probates all over the country. So like your last name's Herbie, right?
Well, Herbia, but Herbie, yeah.
Yeah. So like if you see this season's like Adam Smith, and you see the heirs John Smith, it's pretty easy to know. Most heirs have the same last name. Like some of them are married than them, but like generally, if you want to catch up a pattern after looking at 1,000 probates, you can figure out who's the actual heir and who's not.
And in the beginning, I mixed up the attorneys and the PRs because I didn't understand it. But I sat down with the clerk of the court, and she's just like, okay, this is this and that. I'm like, oh my God, where were you 2 days ago? And I'm just to save yourself from a lot of aggravation. Try to use somebody in the court first, and then worse, use a title company. You really don't want to sit down with a probate attorney because it's going to cost you money, and that's kind of a waste of resources, in my opinion.
I agree.
So
Okay.
you got it, man. Just keep in their day. I love when somebody calls me like that's incredible action. Just
I love it.
Keep doing what you're
And he's
doing.
patient too.
But that honestly, what you did there, Victor, is what I did. I just went down to the court. I go, how do I get a probate? I didn't know a dang thing about it. Honestly, I was just like, educate me. And I sat there because so many people tried to tell me how to do it, and it was all wrong. And I'm like, okay, how you do it in your county. Let me go down to my county and figure it out. And I think I was lucky, but I learned every county I went to, I couldn't make any assumptions based on the previous county because we deal with 5 counties. You might as well go to 5 different states, and they're all in the state of Florida. It's ridiculous. So just be prepared for that. If you switch counties, it's not going to be the same way.
Okay.
Should be the same names, but like getting the names down and getting the terminology is honestly, it's kind of like half the battle when you start it out. So
I agree.
Got it. Yeah, that was the issue. Yeah, same thing. Like I'm just trying to get familiar with all the terminology and everything.
you got it. Like honestly,
So-
this will be like second guessing after you like figure it out. And usually it takes 30, 45 days. And once you figure it out, you get the pattern, then you can start executing, and then you can start reaching out to the PRs to, see if they have interest in selling the house. And that's it. It's half the battle is just trying to get the information. Most people just stop. They go, this is too confusing. I'm done.
I agree.
I wish I could give you a step-by-step, but I'd have to spend 5 years creating it. And by the time I got you the content, it would have to be updated again. So
Got
people
it.
are like, why don't
Got
you
it.
understand California? I go, 3,600 counties. Do the math.
Yeah.
So you got it, Victor. Let us know, and then jump back on the live, and then let's see if we can help you out with any type of marketing or anything you need to reach out to these people.
Absolutely. Awesome. Appreciate it, guys. Just
Okay.
one last thing
See you, man.
before I go. One last thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as far, I've also go to my, I've been to the assessor's or the recorder's office for my county, getting the shut off, like the government lists and the code enforcement stuff. As far as dates go, how far should I be looking back
30 days.
when gathering the lists?
I like the last 30 days.
Yeah. The fresher, the better.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
goes with probates, especially.
Okay.
Okay, man. Good luck.
Cool.
Appreciate
That's
it,
it, man.
Victor. Have a great one.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Later.
Appreciate it. Thank
Awesome.
you. You too.
And then we got Dominic.
Okay, man. Good luck. Appreciate it, Victor. Have a great
All right, Dominic is watching, so we got an echo. So, all right, Dominic, you have an echo, so you probably have the YouTube on. So I muted you. So if you can unmute it and take off the YouTube, and then there won't be a weird echo.
That's a lot of instructions.
I know it's a lot of instructions.
Overwhelming.
But you gotta do it if you want to hop on. So let's see if Dominic's gonna hop on.
Just
All right,
Jump to
talk
the next
to
one and
Raymond.
come back.
Raymond, welcome
Raymond
back.
looks like he looks
What's
like he's
up?
ready, man.
Oh yeah,
Oh, he's
Oh,
muted.
he's muted again. I talked to Raymond yesterday.
I like the hat.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
He's
That's
motivated.
You
He's
know,
out here, Texas,
Plains, Jay-Z.
ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Great state of Texas, man.
All right.
Nice to meet you. You definitely have encouraged and inspired me to, to really go hard with these probates. I was talking to Zach about them yesterday. Today, my question is actually different.
Okay.
Today, my question, where I wrote it down, and don't tell me I lost it that fast. Oh no, flip the page. So, so I was working the code enforcement water shutoff list, and I submitted a request on the city's website for the records because they have a records request. And when I did, I got a response. I actually put it in the chat, but it says this information is confidential under section 182.052.
Yeah, Texas is
Code.
weird.
Okay. So I can't
I'm
go
reading
to
it.
them and mention anything about the Freedom of Information Act. Like
So
that
that's
doesn't
fine.
seem-
The workaway, some counties in Texas will just give it. I would go in person and try. The quick hack is you're just going to have to go to the utility liens instead. That's it.
To the utility lien.
So the water company is the utility department, right?
Right.
When you don't pay the water bill, they will either they'll put a lien on the house. The utility company will actually can put a lien on the house.
So it depends on how that state navigates it.
Yeah, but mostly they do utility liens. That's going to be your hack. It's going to be hard to move around. That's the only way around it.
And it's a little bit more dated information because it
Yeah.
takes time to follow lien and
But
get
no
it.
one else can pull that list. So, and if no one else, if they're not going to pull it, so I would go in person and ask nicely. If not, you just have to get the utility lien list. That's the only workaround on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Utilities are a challenge across the country because some are private, some are public, and then there's information like restrictions in particular states. So it's
Yep.
this is the one that unfortunately you can't completely navigate. He gave you kind of the workaround on it. So
That's it.
That's all you can do.
Okay, Roger, I appreciate that. I had also I got in contact with code enforcement. So I'm working 2 cities. I'm working Round Rock, Texas, and I'm working Killeen. And in Killeen, they gave me a bunch of information, but I didn't know. My issue was I didn't know what specific codes to ask for, because they were like, well, you can kind of, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? You can filter it down. And so I didn't know like how they labeled the codes. So I just kind of freestyled and came up with some things. I said care premise, high grass, trash and debris, stalled vehicles. But like, is there anywhere where there's like a list of like where I can see the codes that code enforcement goes by?
Yeah. So code violation is a violation of the code, right? So you got to read the code and they'll show you what the violations are. So there's in the code, there's a violation for having tall grass, and they'll name it. So you're gonna have to read what the code is, and see the different type of violations, because they all have different names.
Now, in the perfect world, you ask somebody in the department, "Can I have a master list of the numbers that go with the code violation?" So in my county, it's like it's either a 4 or 6 digit code, and we used to reverse engineer it, and I go, "This is stupid. We're wasting a bunch of time." And I go, "Can I just have the code?" And bingo. Sometimes you can even find them online, but worst case scenario, you can reverse engineer it. Go, okay, 0678 is a high grass every time it pops up. If she doesn't give you the codes, just ask each time you call. Go, what's a 1092? She said, "Oh, that's those are abandoned vehicles in the yard."
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they just say it in English. They don't have the code. So you got to read and ask, and they'll tell you, and then you can kind of do it from there.
Remember, somebody has to classify that information. So if somebody fills out a report, and then somebody has to put it in the data department. So somebody has an answer. Getting that answer, either they're going to be straight up and give it to you, or you got to pay like 50 questions. Go, "Hey, what's an 0768? They go, "Oh, that's high grass." Thank you. Next day you call, go, "Hey, what's a 1022? They're like, oh, that's a neglected or vacant property," and then just kind of go through it, and then you're going to find 3 or 4 predominant codes. Like, I don't deal with like in the state of Florida, if you have a car in your driveway without a tag on it, you get a violation for it. I don't deal with that stuff. Like, there's no correlation if they're going to sell their house if they're missing a tag.
Okay.
That's it. You get one for a missing mail receptacle. Probably my favorite one. Oh my God! Did you know that's a violation? I didn't know that.
It is. So no mailbox. They're really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. My last question has to do with true people search and fast people search. What I've noticed is like when I skip trace on PropStream, I get a lot of like do not calls, but like with true people search and fast people search, I don't feel like I get that. Should I call these people no matter what?
To a point, DNC law is interesting and weird because you are not soliciting, so it might not be in there. I've brought it all down after talking to lawyers and everything. They have told me to a point is up to you. Okay. All I can tell you though in this way is intent's a big part. Are you intending to solicit someone on the DNC list? Are you intending to ask them if they're looking to sell a house? It really depends. The only advice I can give to you, and this is the only way I can answer this, people will call the DNC list and it's fine, and you don't really get in trouble, and then other people will not. And there's deals on the DNC list, and there's deals that are off the DNC list, but most of the deals are going to be on the DNC list. So either you want to call where the deals are at or they're not. But you're technically not breaking the law calling a DNC list if you do it the right way. But I can't tell you the rest on that one.
You got to kill people with kindness.
I got to keep it on.
Like the minute they go, "Hey, listen, I'm on that list," go, "Listen, I apologize. I must have mixed it up. I will make sure
you're not telemarketing
and just move on." But you're not telemarketing.
You're not telemarketing. So you know what? The lawyer, I don't want to get in trouble. It's up to you.
Yeah. Or you could take the realtor's approach and assume everything's a scam and not do anything.
Okay.
But,
oh my gosh.
I don't think that's you. So listen, I think as long as you're kind to people and you're really trying to help out, it warrants the effort, but you have to make the decision at the end of the day. I've been lit up by people all the time, but I have good intentions.
Yep.
Cool. That was all my questions, man. I appreciate y'all.
Okay, man.
I can have
Get
stuff,
after it, man.
just hit me real time and just hit y'all up and kind of get answers like that.
Perfect.
Isn't
That's
that
why we
cool?
do it.
And when I'm not spending time watching the lives, I'm spending time on freewholesaling.com. So,
Awesome.
simultaneously. So I appreciate y'all, man.
All right.
Awesome, man. Good
All
luck.
right, big blessings.
Appreciate it.
Talk
Okay,
to
man.
y'all soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, did you see that top comment there? Just
What?
above. Up. One more.
This one?
Right there. No. Other one. There.
What? Hey, Zach, what if they say they can't get people with the I just answered this one.
I know. But
So
compared to a
Juan,
bank balance, it's like completely
It's
different.
requesting someone's bank. It's compared to requesting someone's bank balance.
No, it's not.
No, it's an address. So,
Which is public.
so if the government owned a bank, then yes, you technically can, but to a point. So
on the Federal Reserve.
just get the utility on there. So
Okay.
FYI. So looks like Paul's on the phone there. So we'll talk to him later. So guys, I appreciate it. Got any value from this video? Smash that like button and subscribe. Check out freewholesaling.com and we'll see you soon. Have a blessed one, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. We're just going to break down how he became a millionaire in his 30s. So we're excited for that one. So guys,
Awesome.
appreciate it. Smash